Hey guys, welcome back to It's Okay Garage. Today we are going to be jumping into WRX, pulling the motor and transmission out of this car. Basically, I'm going to start with draining the radiator and draining the transmission fluid, so all the fluids are just drained and out of the way, taken care of. Let's pop that battery out of there. Let's pull that windshield wiper fluid reservoir. 2 tins. Plug down here usually, and then you got your hose that plugs in right here. Let's pull this intercooler off. Typically you got your 2 bolts coming up to your brackets over there. This car does not have those intercooler brackets on it, so you just got these 2 hose clamps, and obviously that bracket, and then some people will take this breather hose off. You could leave it on, but there's 3 10s. I leave it on. I just pop the hoses off, and then also you're gonna have to pop your blow off valve off. So 2 bolts through 10s, or sorry, usually 12s, but these ones are 13s. So pop off this throttle cable. So you'll need a 12 wrench or 2 fuel lines. So we'll disconnect these fuel lines. Always the top one of your fuel filter will always go to the top of your fuel rails over here. Pop off this brake hose, brake booster hose, or whatever it is. Your main wiring harness plugs apart or off. Now you're going to need to pop off this wiring harness part of it that goes to your alternator. AC compressor as well. And this is just a 12. Let's move back over here and pull these 2 coolant lines. So we got this one here. Okay, now we'll undo the starter back there. And we got that 1 plug coming up underneath, and then this is a 12, sometimes a 13. Pull the starter off. You got these 2 14 bolts. I usually break the top one free, and then I loosen the bottom one all the way. Easier to work with sometimes. Alright, let's pull this radiator out. We got these 2 12mm bolts for the radiator hold down. Your hose clamp over here. Got these 2 hoses as well. That fan plugs on both sides, so make sure you unplug both of them. You got your bottom hose over here. Your hose clamp here you undo. Plug, air box, bottom part of it. 212. This power steering off, but to do that you need to take the belt off. So loosen up that alternator. Close on here. Pull the 2 toes down here. Do the plug. Okay, now that's all kind of cleaned up out of your way. We're gonna come over here and unplug the main wiring harness over here, so we'll disconnect it from the boost controller here. And you undo your boost lines. Pull off the slave cylinder down here, and then we need to pull this clutch fork pin, which is a 10mm hex bit, 10 bolt, and I've found one that, like a valve cover one, that has worked the best for me. So basically, that's what it looks like with that bolt that I went with. And then I take the screwdriver in here like this, give it a little pry. There you go. Get the clutch fork pin out, the rest of the bell housing bolts out, which is 14s. So we'll start on this side and make sure everything over here is pulled away and free and clear of the motor. Basically just be ready to pull on this side. Okay, let's move on to pulling this downpipe. 14s for this guy, or at least this one is. Okay, now that we got the car jacked up, we get under here, pull these 2 bolts off for the downpipe, and unplug this O2 sensor. And then most of the time there's a bolt up here. Okay, now that you got the downpipe off, pull that, and you pull these motor mounts off, which they are 14s. One is right here. back up top to hold the motor. So once you get all your bell housing bolts off, the downpipe all off, and you can go ahead and get yourself set up to start pulling the motor with your cherry picker or whatever you're going to use. I got a pretty elaborate setup here, winch set up. Get the jack, and I jack up the transmission a little bit so you can get off those the studs on the bell housing on the bottom of the motor. Make sure everything else is all clean around the motor and everything, so you can come up nice and clean. You're going to want to watch out on your clutch fork, make sure it's off the throwout bearing. Just like that, we got the motor all pulled out. Helps you guys out pulling that motor. I got to pull this transmission out, so I'm going to jump right into that. Catch you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoy. Till next time. Later.